Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Today I have a book haul for you. It's fine. Alright, so we're back again. I'm back on my bullshit of buying more books when I don't need them. It's fine. It is what it is. I will say that September was a fantastic month for reading my own books. I read 15 books. So even though we're starting our month at 273, we're starting this haul at 273, I read 15 books off of my physical TBR this month. So that was fantastic. So that's going to put us down to 258, which is still ridiculous and insane. But I'm also filming an unhaul. So that'll go down also. I just don't know how much quite yet because I haven't done the math. So we're gonna stick with 258 as our starting number, and we're gonna talk about some books that I hauled. I have 22 books to talk to you about. Some of them I have read, some of them I haven't, but a lot of them I have for projects for videos going out before the end of the year. So they will come off of my TBR by the end of the year, provided I don't scrap a video. Let's talk about the ones that I have read first. Most of these came from Rom-Comathon, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with it because you've probably just watched my vlog. But we have Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. I gave this one 4 stars. This is like a Gen X romance. The guy's in his 50s, the woman is in her like up high 40s, 46, 48, something like that. And they are gamers. They meet online and then they end up being in their own, like they live in the same town, and so then they meet up. It's really cute because he thinks that she's an old grandma and she thinks that he's in his 20s, and so they are very stunned by the fact that they are not. It was really cute. I enjoyed this one. And then Fly With Me by Andy Burke. I also gave this one 4 stars. I really liked this one. This is a queer sapphic romance about a pilot and a nurse who is on the plane, and she has to like help with a medical event on the plane. It goes viral and then they start fake dating. It was really cute. The third act conflict was a little bit messy, and it's definitely like shows that it's a debut, but I'll definitely read more from this author. I had a couple of pre-orders come in. The first one was Fury Song by Rosaria Munda. I read this one months ago. This is the end of the Fireborn series. However, I just want to talk to Penguin for a second. If you're not Penguin, hold on, I'll be back. But Penguin, Fireborn, Flamefall, Fury Song, right? Okay, 3 books. They look very good together until you put them on their side and Fury Song is shorter. Why? Why do you do this? I also got my finished copy of Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. This book I read as an ARC. I absolutely loved. It has the potential to be my favorite book of the year. It's definitely making the top 10. There's no way it's going off. This has undiagnosed ADHD rep. It's queer. It's soccer gaze. It's so good. It's so good. The communication in this book is fantastic. Okay, we do not tolerate miscommunication in this book. One character like stops talking for a couple of days, doesn't text her back, and the other girl goes to her house and she's like, we're not doing this. We're gonna talk this out. It's beautiful. We love it. And then I also got a copy of The Fake Boyfriend Fiasco by Talia Hibbard. I read this during the Amazing Readathon and absolutely loved it. It was phenomenal. 5 out of 5. Also could make my best books of the year. It's fake dating. It's a plus size girly. We love her. She's badass. And this is like steamier than the Brown Sisters. So if you know, you know. Lastly, a book that I'm in the middle of. So this is gonna be a good segue. I'm in the middle of this. By the time this video comes out, I will have finished it, but I am gonna add it to my TBR just so it'll be easier to take off at the end of the month. It works in my head. It's a good segue though. Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. The publisher sent me a finished copy, so thank you so much to Berkeley. Yeah, I'm in the middle of this right now. It's a good time. This is the 3rd book in the Bright Falls series, so Delilah Green and Astrid Parker. This is the 3rd one in it, and this is about a girl who is fake dating, and they're in a production, like a theater production together. So one of the characters like accidentally said to her friends, yeah, I'm dating this girl, to kind of get them off of her backs, and then she showed up in the play. And then Iris is writing a romance book, but she's not very good at romance, and so she's like, okay, fine, but I'm gonna like use this as research. We love it. It's a good time. I'm having fun with it. Okay, now let's talk about some books that I have projects for that I will have read by the end of the year. So we're adding them to the TBR, but hopefully they go off soon. First one is Master of the Void by Wind Raven. This was Cassidy's pick for her finalist for SPFBO. It's a chonker, so that's fun. So I will probably be reading all of the finalist, and I'm also thinking I will be reading all of Cassidy's semi-finalist to see if this one would have been the one that I picked. We'll see when that happens. I have a lot planned for October and November, so I don't know if the semi-finalist video will actually be a thing that happens, but we'll definitely be reading all the finalists. Then I have the playlist by Morgan Elizabeth. This is a Taylor-coded romance, and I'm going to be buddy reading this book with Michelle over at Michelle's Library. It's a video that's going to be coming out towards the end of the year. The cover I kind of talked about in my rom-comathon vlog, but like there's so many Taylor Swift inspired things. We have the mirror ball. This says the Fearless Tour in Madison Square Garden. There is Love Story Fearless. This is the playlist, says Zoe's version. The keychain right here says fuck the patriarchy. And then the map says anywhere with you. So it's very Taylor. The cover at least is very Taylor coded. So I'm gonna do a video project for this. I picked up my first manga. I picked up Spy Family Volume 1, and I might pick up more because a lot of them are on Pango and they're super cheap. But this was one of the favorite books that was read during the Amazing Readathon, so I'm gonna be doing a vlog reading all those. If you watched my reset, that I talked about that, so this is also gonna be one of those books. Also in that vlog, I'm gonna be reading Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. This is a YA fantasy that I think has like some political intrigue into it and like two warring factions, or a kingdom divided by corruption, the king desperately holding it together. I am tentatively excited about this one. I'm cautiously optimistic, we'll say, because YA fantasy tends to like be hit or miss for me, but this has a lot of the things that I could love, and like I loved Fireborn, and that's a YA fantasy, so we'll see. I want to do a like fantasy romance vlog of some sort. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's definitely going to be like a Polycon related since I'm going to be going in April. And I have a couple of fantasy romances that I picked up. Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. This was like The Bachelor meets The Hunger Games, I think, if I remember correctly. That was kind of like how it was sold. And I'm here for that. And then Air Awakens by Elise Kova was a book that Cassidy read and really, really loved. I think she binged like the entire series in a vlog. So that gives me hope, like high hopes for this. Plus the cover is so pretty. It's so pretty. I only bought the first one, but like the rest of them are on KU. If I like this first one, I might buy the rest of them. We'll see. Because all the covers are gorgeous. And then I picked up Legacy of the Vermilion Blade by Jay Talsqual. Jay actually reached out to me after I put out my semi-finalist vlog and asked me to review this book. So I am actually currently reading this. The audiobook is coming out like a chapter at a time on Spotify. So that's been kind of fun. Kind of like listen to it like episodically rather than like all at one time. Because it's not all out yet. But it's been an interesting way to experience that. This is a very queer fantasy. It also has ace representation, which is not something you see very often in books in general, but especially not in high fantasy. And I love the way that this is like marketed as an accessible tale of high fantasy adventure. And then lastly, for a project that I'm doing for spooky season, I have Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. This is about a little girl or a woman escaping her family who was in a cult. So I love that for her. I'm really excited about this one. It has a conversation of like religious trauma, something that like I obviously grew up with. I'm hopeful for this one. I've actually never read anything from Rachel Harrison. I have Cackle, but I wanted to read it last spooky season and didn't quite get to. So I think this might end up being my first one of her because I am reading this one like in just a week or so for a project. Okay, so those are the books that'll definitely be taken off of the TBR by the end of the year. Now let's talk about the ones that I don't have projects for. I just bought them. I did skip Book of the Month in September because I do know that I have like a ridiculous TBR and that I'm trying to wane down. And so if it's a book that I absolutely was not going to read by the end of the year, I kind of skipped it. It is what it is. But I did pick up 2 books from Aardvark. I'm really liking Aardvark so far. I've now ordered from them, well, I guess now 3 months because it's October 1st as I am filming this. And so I picked 2 books up for September. So I picked up Perfectly Nice Neighbors by Kia Abdullah. This says, when your dream home comes with nightmare neighbors, how far do you go to keep your family safe? This is gonna have have a lot of commentary about it, about immigration. The main characters in this are immigrants from East Asia, I believe. And it says soon after they move in, Salma spots her white neighbor, Tom Hutton, ripping out the anti-racist banner her son put in their front garden. Avoiding confrontation, Salma takes the banner inside, puts it in her window. The next morning, she wakes up to find her window smeared with paint. When she does confront Tom, battle lines are drawn between two families. As racial and social tensions escalate and the stakes rise, it's clear that a reckoning is coming and someone is going to get hurt. And then I also got Desert Creatures by Kay Cronster. This is a dystopian sci-fi horror. In a world that's desiccated and treacherous, one young woman will find salvation or become just another rot, lonely skull in the sand. This cover is stunning. Stunning. I'm here for this. This is definitely going on Instagram this month. I had a couple of hopefuls that I was wanting to read during Rom-Comathon and didn't quite get to. From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. I'm actually just trying to find the old covers of these as they like go out of, like they get into reprinting. I'm trying to find the older covers. This is a figure skating romance. It's slow burn. It's Mariana Zapata. I've never actually read any of her books, but I now have 3, I think, so maybe we should do a taste test video. Then we have The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. This is a woman discovers the father of the child that she is nannying may be her biggest only fan in this steamy contemporary romance. So she is actually an OnlyFans. He's a client of hers, but then she ends up becoming the nanny for his kid. It's going to be a fun time. Single dad romances are so much fun. And then I did pick up Happy Place by Emily Henry. Here's the thing, if I end up doing the Goodreads Choice Awards for romance, we know that this is going to be on it. I haven't decided if I'm going to do romance because I kind of want to do fantasy because I feel like not as many people do the fantasy one. We just kind of, I don't know, I have to see once they come out, once the nominees come out, because I don't know how many I've already read, and fantasy is harder to read in 3 weeks if there's 10 of them. So we will see, but this definitely might happen. I do have another project I'm thinking about for though. Then we have Ascension by Nicholas Benge. I wanted to read this one with the Pyramid Book Club and I just didn't get to it last month. So it's still on my shelf. This one had very mixed opinions in the Pyramid Book Club because I watched the non-spoiler part of it, and like I know some people, I think Michelle DNF'd it, but then Lexi really liked it. So it's like a sci-fi horror and I do like those, so I'm hopeful. But this is about an enormous snow-covered mountain that appeared in the Pacific Ocean and no one knows how to explain its existence. There is a scientist of mysterious phenomena is contacted by a shadowy organization to help investigate. He has no idea what he and his team are getting into. The higher they ascend in the whipping cold, the less things make sense. Memories of their lives before the mountain begin to fade. Paranoia turns to violence. This kind of sounds like a Blake Crouch book and I'm here for this. Anyway, I don't want to continue reading because I like to go into my thrillers really blind. This one might happen sooner rather than later because that sounds really good. Okay, I have 2 more that I have no idea when I will finish them because one of them is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. I just got the pre-order of this. I wanted to get the exclusive edition. The problem is that I haven't even finished the Darker Shade of Magic series. So like I need to do that before I read this one. So this one's not getting read this year. And then I also got a copy of The Midnight Kingdom by Tara Sim. This is the second book in the City of Dusk series. And I liked the first one. I didn't love it. I think I gave it 3 or 3.5 stars. I think the concept was really good, and so I'm really hoping that the second one gets better. I'll probably end up rereading the first one just because I'm a little bit lost and I don't really remember. It's been like a 1.5 years since I read it, so I don't really remember a lot. But I don't know, I'm hopeful that the second book will be better. So the good news is that I did take off 15 books from my TBR in September, and the bad news is that I'm adding 17, so we're still going in the wrong direction. That's 275 books. However, like I said, I am filming a unhaul video, so in my next book haul I will give you that number and we'll kind of decrease from there because I haven't added up all of the numbers yet. Let me know in the comments down below which ones you are most interested to see, and if you're not feeling chatty, why don't you do a mountain emoji because the mountain appears out of nowhere. I don't know, sounds weird. That's all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.